Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Emperor Wang coming back at you from Studio 304, and I'm here to do three things today. I'm here to open mail, I'm here to talk about the number 12, and I'm here to chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. I hope things with you guys have been going great. Things here have not. But at the end of the day, my boots did hit the ground this morning, and I did breathe that free American air. I can walk, talk, see, and hear, and I have 2 arms and 2 legs. So I don't have that much to complain about. Some of that was said by a very wise man. Who was that wise man? Well, it's this guy right here, Mr. West Texas. And if you haven't heard of Mr. West Texas, he is the mortal enemy of East Texas. They are engaged in an epic battle. No, I'm just kidding. East Texas Stacker does not exist. But let's open this mail and see what is in here. Got very average scissors for the job today. I like to open from the side. Anybody else? I don't know. I'm a side opener. Are you a side opener or a top opener? Let me know. What we got here? Emperor Wang, just wanted to thank you for all your support. Thank you for the awesome stickers. There's a little token of our appreciation. God bless Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. You know, Mr. and Mrs. West, what I should have said earlier is that even though things around here aren't going that great, your videos where you do say motivating things really does help my mood and help me feel better. And you and maybe a lot of people like you in the community perhaps underestimate how much you positively affect other people. It really does make me feel better when I hear that booming voice saying, you know, breathe that free American air and boots hit the ground. It does motivate me. So let's get to the token. Oh, that's Texas AF. Come and take it. And even more a pro because I was from the artillery family of MOSs in the United States Marine Corps. As a forward observer, I love the depiction of the cannon. When I was deployed to Afghanistan, my lieutenant, my artillery lieutenant, who was with me, also attached to the infantry line company, was from Texas, Corpus Christi, in fact. And he proudly displayed this come and take it with the cannon barrel emblem in all sorts of places. This is super cool, Mr. and Mrs. West Tex. I love this. Thank you very much. And what do we got here? Oh, yes. Very cool. This is an article that on the Battle of Gonzales. I will definitely pore over this. Thank you very much for the context and history on this beautiful gift here, and for your handwritten note. Well, again, if any of you still haven't subscribed to Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker's channel, go check it out immediately. So next, this video is sponsored by the number 12. And I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the number 12 and where that fits into coinage or UK coinage. I did a recent video where I mentioned how American coinage, we're on a base 10 system. 100 cents is $1. 10 of something equals something. It's also known as the decimal system, but I mentioned how the sterling system of coinage that was in use in the UK up until about 1971 was kind of a base 12, whereas their idea of something equals something else was a dozen of something equals something, and that's kind of how you end up with weird denominations like the pound being 240 pennies, or occasional issues of weird things like sixpence, which makes sense in a base 12 system. So I wanted to talk about how I think that arose, and I think that the idea of a dozen is a naturally occurring increment to someone who would be mathematically illiterate and also illiterate in general. So the base 10 system, where everything's based on tens, hundreds, and thousands, that makes sense for people like us who are doing calculations. It makes sense for people like us who were taught it from birth. Most importantly, is why that makes sense to us, is because we were taught it from children. But try to imagine yourself as like a Renaissance to medieval era person who is completely illiterate, can't read, mathematically illiterate. You don't have to perform any calculations, but you do have to perform transactions in your daily life all the time in the form of barter. I'm sure currency comes into play, but I think the number 12 would be much more important to you than the number 10. So I have some notes here. So consider the number 10, for example. You have 10 of something, and you want to perform 2 transactions divided in half. You immediately run into problems because you have 2 5s. Now that second order person cannot conduct 2 even transactions. It can conduct 2 and 3. The second order person has a problem. If you have a dozen of something and you want to have it into 2 transactions, that second order person has 6. And that second order person has a lot more options. Yes, if that second order person wants to have their transaction, they have 2 3s, which is an odd number. But that odd number is pushed out one more order from the originator. But that second order person with the 6 has much greater options than a person with a 5, in that they can do 3 even transactions of 2. They can do 3 even transactions of 2. They can do 2 even transactions of 3, or they can do 6 transactions of 1. It just creates greater options for the second and third order people in that chain of transactions. Therefore, 12 would be a much more significant number for a mathematically illiterate person than 10. And that would be the thing that you base other things on. 12 just makes more sense as a unit. So I believe, without any evidence or scientific support, that this is why 12 became the significant base number of sterling currency. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. So what's coming up on the Emperor Wang channel? Well, not much. There's been a lull in my acquisitions, but soon on the way I have some gold bullion, this time in small bar form. And by small, I mean pretty small. And some more silver, and there will be some nooms trickling in. Yes, I'm still trying to make nooms happen. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. This video was kind of fun to film. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. Maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, love you guys. Cheerio.